what's your problem with that though?
That's what I think about when I think of.
Cut it.
Why did you feel the need to say that?
You don't know what this person is going through.
But he has to know. Okay, outdoor messy talk then.
Okay.
That's such a funny story that you remind me of. Now we bought it. The question is, do you feel that mental health is taken seriously in the Caribbean?
No.
No, sir.
Nope.
Okay.
End it.
And that's the consensus.
Let's start with our
Thank you
kings.
for joining us.
Let's start with our kings. Why do you feel that way, Andre?
Well, a lot of it is knowledge, first of all. Secondly, we don't have the kind of infrastructure to properly deal with the people that do have, those types of issues. And what we associate with a lot of the people that do have mental issues are the people that are homeless that you see on the side of the road and that kind of thing. And then so there's a lot of stigma that's attached to that. Like, oh, that's a crazy person from so why he don't go down the psych ward, which is psychiatric ward.
Well, before anybody says anything, Andre started off with awareness or like knowledge, and that's the first thing I want to talk about. Like, a lot of people think mental health issues means that you crazy, like, oh, you have like you suffering
like
from
literally
something. You could be a normal person and just stress life things just fucking they happen, bro. They hurt.
And I feel like it's not even just Caribbean people, it's like black people in general. It's almost can't happen to us because if you feeling like that's quote unquote white people shit, like that don't happen to black people, so that's why we so like
it's a mindset.
Literally in Antigua, our mental health hospital is called Crazy House.
Literally.
Yeah, but it's so backwards.
That's not the actual name, but that's what we call it. We just call it Crazy House.
It's so backwards what Tabitha was saying, because people would say it's a white people thing, but like statistically, black people go through more hardship.
Yeah,
like,
but I'm saying
so
that they don't want to call it that.
We would be more likely to suffer from mental illnesses. So it's just, I don't know. I think the awareness is about zilch. Like, there's just like people just think like if you have any type of mental issues, then you need to go to the Crazy House, you need to go to Sandlands, you need to go to whatever rehabilitation center. And the thing about that is, right, that's one part of it. My side, like from my take in the Bahamas, is like our rehabilitation center is called Sandlands. Bro, I've never seen anybody successfully recover from Sandlands, but you just go there and then that's it. You get your case of vitamin.
Crazy people as
well. I feel like
that's it.
I feel like it's also because we don't like we belittle it so much that only when it reaches to the point where you need.
I think it loops back around to the awareness. Like nobody want to hear that. The newspaper ain't gonna report on that because it's like, I don't know, people don't respect it. It's not worthy of mentioning, I'm going to assume. But a
lot of times we forget too that, well, I don't speak for the Caribbean, but St. Kitts, like because we're such a Christian-oriented place, it's like you're going to hardships and you have to go to church and pray to Jesus. Yeah. Like you're stressed out, you're depressed. It's just because
go to sleep or something like
Jesus
that.
Nothing wrong with you.
That's definitely gonna fix all your problems.
Yeah,
for
your faith isn't strong enough and like stuff like that, where we forget that.
It's not faith, it's that I'm dealing with trauma and stress.
And I have to learn how to deal with it.
When you slap me in my face and tell me wash the dishes out my sleep, that hurt me. That hurt me.
You're going through something weird.
Not anymore. I'm past that point in my life.
Honestly, like it's very, very stigmatized. Like honestly, I didn't know that I was dealing with anxiety until I came to Canada. Because all my life I grew up thinking people used to call me dramatic or like I was scared or whatever. Like literally I would have full on breakdowns and people would be like, oh, it's just because you're nervous or whatever. No, I'm having a fucking anxiety attack. I did not know that until I came here. I used to think I was just dramatic, what my parents used to call me.
Or they think that kids who have ADHD in the Caribbean are just hyperactive. She's hyper.
Yeah, and I feel so bad for kids that do have ADHD because they end up getting blows.
Blows, licks, boy.
Yeah.
Bang. Yes.
I actually have ADHD.
Why are you laughing? What is going on?
It's just the way you said.
Yeah.
I feel like one thing, like when I was growing up and I didn't really understand the issue as a whole, I remember learning from like my parents and that kind of thing. Some of the people that we see, like again for us, like on the side of the road who were associated as crazy people, my father would be like, yo, that man used to be the smartest person in my class. Right? And now they're just destitute on the side of the road.
That's how I figure out crack cocaine is the devil.
That's
how I figure out dangerous crack is.
No, but they always think that it's the drugs. They always think it's drugs. That person might have actually had like a mental breakdown.
The thing is, right, the other day I was thinking about schizophrenia, right? You don't hear about that in the Caribbean at all.
Ever.
Like, imagine much people who might have schizophrenia who had to turn to drugs to like stop the voices or stop seeing things and all these things. We don't ever talk about it. So where are these people supposed to turn to get help for their issues? And sometimes I think about all these people who are on the side of the road, like if they could have been helped, right? Like if they did receive help, maybe a month into seeing signs or the symptoms or whatever, if they could have been back into their normal selves or normal selves
as possible.
You know, like it's just really sad. Who are they supposed to turn to?
Honestly, like I can't say for the Caribbean, but once you start becoming homeless or Jones, that's it for you, bro. Like your family, you better call on your family, and even then, dog, you better hope they love you, dog. Like I don't know. They don't deserve to be outcast of the society or like just thrown away like trash because they people too.
And I even feel like we talking about mental health. Y'all thinking about like the not crazy, but like the serious extremes. We talking about all spectrums of it. Anxiety, bipolar, like these type of things matter as well. Like depression, just because like anxiety. I feel like anxiety is so broad to the fact that people think that's like any little nervous feeling, but no, that is actually like a very, very serious thing. Like with my anxiety attacks, everything is stopped for me. Like I just have full on blackouts for like 10 minutes because I literally can't function. And I don't want that to just be discredited just because I followed crazy. That doesn't mean it isn't a mental issue. A
lot of times also we think about mental illness and mental health in the sense of these things that have actual terms. Now thinking about, okay, if your kid is having a breakdown right now or during the terrible twos and you're going to talk to your kid eye level and you tell them, hey, let me know what's wrong, like that also is helping their mental health. It's not just if they have anxiety or bipolar disorder. It's not in terms of symptoms and disorders. It's
emotional intelligence as well.
All of this is part of mental health. It's about if your husband is stressed after a long day at work, is that you ask him like, hey, are you okay? Like taking something off of his plate. People don't really think about it in that way. Just asking your friend like, bro, I know like you have exams coming up, like you're all right. Like
all of that counts.
And like mental health.
Even over here, like they have mental health days. Back home, you wouldn't know what the hell that is. Like that would not be a thing. Like it's over here, like I didn't realize how serious that is. Like, yes, I do need a break from work. I don't need to be sick in order for me to count off. I literally just need a day. My mind, like, is not where it needs to be right now. I need a day to myself.
And it's crazy with that one day off. It's just like how good you feel the next day. But like, and it's just like small things like that. I don't know, like
mental health. They like to think that it's some type of thing that young people get. Like, they don't think that that's real. Like
for them phones.
You know what they used to say?
They say 5G.
Them phones is called 5G.
You know when we was like younger or whatever, they'd be like, you worried or you stressed out. They'd be like, what you stressed out for? You're a child. What stress? You know, like. You know what's going on in the world right now? Like my friends, kids are mean. Like of course I'm stressed.
The earth is dying, Tabitha. Let's go there.
No, but it's really such a thing that parents don't even understand. I used to tutor, and I tutored this little boy and his friend, and I'm talking like they were 5. This little girl would just sit down and just pull at her own hair. She would just sit down and she would just. And then they're like, they don't know what's going on. And the parents are just so clueless. And they just have to, have to find out, like, she needs help. Yeah.
And
then the parents are like, it's stress. But when you tell, like, even whatever it is, right? But when you tell other people that, right? It's like, what she have to stress about? She's 5. Exactly. It doesn't matter how you as an adult would look at something. Yeah. Like, you don't know how this 5-year-old is taking anything on. Yeah. You
like,
have
just
to
because,
help
like,
them.
you had a good childhood or you ain't never, like, grew up in poverty, people thinking that your life...
No, but like even the parents.
Yes.
No, but it's like the parents are like, oh, but I'm giving you this.
Yeah, you have all of this, like
food. You have
a chemical imbalance in my brain. I can't help
That has nothing to do with what you're giving me.
Thank you.
And then you ungrateful too if you like ain't happy. If you're depressed, it's like, oh, you don't like what you have to be, especially what you have to be.
I mean, it's not seen as a real problem. Yeah. Like I've a lot of times where like I've had self-esteem issues, break down in tears with my family, and like they tell me stop crying, but you are not dying.
I don't matter,
exactly.
Get some balls.
Especially for a man. Oh my God, I can't imagine.
I don't know, but like the support systems, bro. Like I don't know how to talk about it, but I just want to reference. Like, let me just use two examples. So the family and the homies, bro. My family, like, it's a different dynamic. So depending on what the issue is, I could get some support. And like depending on what the homies too, like what it is, you could get some support. But it seems like in both cases, the only time you get any type of support is if somebody passed away. Like honestly, like besides that, it's just like if I go to the homies, I can get roasted. Like when I say
be like, babe, I having a bad day. It's like, babe,
it's not even just that day. I feel like it's not even just you getting roasted. It's they want to solve problems, but y'all drinking. Yeah. It's like you're sad, but let's go drinking.
Yeah.
Like, let's go drinking.
And that's another reason why the Bahamas is like raging alcoholics. Alcoholics, bro.
I don't know. I feel like in my friend group is lucky enough that I don't know. I guess we all kind of just been through things and going through things. Yeah. Literally, occasionally, again, now and then, I just see a message in the group like, how y'all doing this week? I hope y'all doing good. If y'all want to talk about anything, let me know. And then we could go over it.
Trying to jack me.
No,
but then like even sometimes even when you sad like that, like the smart remarks like that from the homies like just get you to smile, like get you to laugh.
I mean like you can still get roasted but at the end, but after that you're gonna be like no, but for real like no, for real what's going on?
What do y'all think about how y'all don't know if in the Bahamas or whatever you guys had this where parents would go and beat their kids in front of the school? How do you guys think that affects?
Wait, my mom going to do that to me? I ran away. I left the school. It wasn't happening.
That actually happened to me.
And then she drive off.
I think
she was like, you don't come in here, and then I had to walk home. So it was weird to get.
I remember time in grade 2, the teacher had gone and she had called an assembly during lunchtime, brought this little boy on the stage, stripped him down to his underwear, and beat him in front of the assembly.
Why would you even do that?
How does that benefit as a parenting style?
How do you think your child supposed to go to school the next day, show his face?
Public environment.
Parents are sometimes the biggest bullies.
Bullies for their kids. Like,
y'all ever like me personally? I have not forgotten any time a parent has beaten a child like in front of the classroom or the school. Like
I remember all of them.
I remember all of them, and I remember the people names. In grade 1.
Wait! Cut that.
I'm calling you out. You want me to beat you?
Oh my God! His mother threw a chair at him in the first grade.
That's getting cut.
Make sure bleep that in.
But no, another thing is we don't talk about how a lot of parents like release your stress on their kids.
Yes. That is exactly what happens.
Yes. Like beating, me personally. I've never beaten a child. I don't have a child, but I don't think I can beat my child when I'm physically angry. I don't think that's a good idea.
Yeah, we talked about that already.
Mainly because it's a child, not an adult man. I could kill him.
Yeah. Yeah, we talked
anyway,
about
I've
that
had some traumatizing asses.
But also we stigmatize going to therapy.
Yes.
I find that up in Canada, people just, you have an issue, you go to therapy.
Go to my therapist,
you just need a person who is professionally qualified to help you sort an
unbiased.
issue. Yes, unbiased, like just to help you sort an issue. They don't know they don't know who you are in life,
exactly. They're listening to the facts that you give them.
Exactly.
They're not judging you off of your parents or the status that
they
you have.
They can say things objectively.
It's not like you just go straight to your past and that's it. Like, no, that's how it is. You have to go to counseling. But
that can't work because when I went to my pastor, I ended up getting an exorcism.
Oh my God, bro. I hate talking to anybody with any type of religious background about any problem because it always can end up. If you just read your Bible or go to Philippians and it'll be like, I need a real life. I gave you a very specific problem. And you can tell me, go read my Bible? Like, why did you waste my time?
Well, my dad does give advice to other people, not to me. But my dad's a preacher. He gives a good advice. My dad was also in the world before he was a part of the body of Christ. Okay. So he gives like real world, he gives real world advice.
I'm specifically talking about those people who don't live in the real world. They live in the gospel of Christ.
I mean, I think that's another reason why we're talking about mental health in the Caribbean is Christianity is one of those things that where you feel like
it is getting away.
Yeah, if something wrong with you, that means you got some type of demon or whatever. So that's why it isn't talked about in the Caribbean. It's because if you ain't right, it's because you ain't right with God or something like that. Like, grow up.
Don't be following your own.
I was thinking about one of the things that pushed me to want to be like a child psychologist and all these things is because a lot of times the guidance counselors in schools and St. Kitts were pastors. They're either pastors or part of a church or something like that. So when you go to them in high school for advice, they would give you biased advice. It's like they can't look at things outside of Jesus, basically. So it's like, who are we supposed to turn to? And think it's, well, when I was leaving, there was no child psychologist. So who was the professional that these people were supposed to go and speak to? Also, it's just there's a real lack of professionals also. Yeah.
But it also, so there is the lack of professionals, but there is also the mindset of people not wanting to go to therapy because they think, me know if I tell she for me business because and it's all because so the thing is my brother wants to get into counseling, right? So he's a theology major, he's all of that, but he doesn't want to go into the preaching aspect of theology. He wants to go. So that's what he wants to do. He wants to do counseling, but then he says, but there isn't even an avenue for it in Antigua because nobody go on come to you and tell you what they're struggling with in there. If it is that he does marriage counseling, no married couple can come and tell you, this and this is my problem, because it's such a
which is tragic because then you're not prioritizing your marriage, you're prioritizing your pride.
I mean, but then the people have a reason to, like, professionalism, like what's the confidentiality, like I don't know, it's
exactly.
a smaller place.
I was just about to say, like, back in the Bahamas everybody knows everybody, so it's like you wouldn't really want to go and tell your business because that might end up who knows where.
Your therapist is
people are really not professional.
But professionally they're not supposed to.
Exactly.
So but if you love your job, take it seriously, and if you do take it seriously, then when you're in my office, if I was a therapist, then whatever it is, it's between me and you right on that spot. And that's it.
But here we are talking about people telling you their business. We can hardly get people to go to the doctor and say, I have a
for actual physical. Yeah.
So that's a whole nother level.
You guys think that stems from the black people in church just scared of doctors, scared
ignorance,
of
slavery,
ignorance,
we're
all of those things.
It's sad, and just like, how do you guys think that we would?
That's
change
why I was saying that I feel like it's more not even
awareness,
just. I don't feel like it's more. I feel like it's more black people than Caribbean, because it's like when something wrong with you as a black person, it's like you regard it as weak, and we don't do that. Black people are strong, and we stand on each other, and we got a family. It's like that's why they call it quote unquote white people things, because it's like we don't break, we don't have problems.
What? Going to the doctor.
Break my arm and be like, I can walk it off.
I wanted some penicillin.
I wanted to ask y'all, have y'all went to a therapist here in Canada?
Yes, it's free.
It's free.
It's free, and your insurance covers it also.
I didn't even know that.
Your SMU insurance covers that, sweetie. So you better use it because it comes out of your tuition.
Even at my job, it's one of the benefits.
Have one
it's one of our benefits.
But I've not used it.
I've not used it, but I know.
I pay for cool. You got to pay for the insurance at SMU, so you
will use
I was about to say use
and
everything.
your insurance takes massages and so on.
Yes, massages, even chiropractors.
Let me book my appointment.
Is this a SMU promotion or something?
No, and a lot of times we forget that some people will go to one therapist, psychologist, or whatever, and it doesn't work out with that one person, and they think okay, all you see it was trash in the first place, it's stupidness. Not realizing you have to find that person that meshes with you. Yes, that meshes with you. It's the same way you have to build a connection with your psychologist, or you have to build a connection with them. People don't know you have to go and try different ones and talk to different people, so whoever you connect with. Like, nobody tells us these things.
That's exactly why I asked. I mean, because me personally, I didn't even know SMU had one. Like, I knew therapy was a thing here in Canada, but I didn't do more.
We have a counseling center at SMU.
Yeah, I mean, but I did just like I'm a black person, I'm a black Caribbean person. Like, I'll deal with it on my own. I'll figure it out.
Exactly.
One thing that we really need to realize, one thing that we really need to realize is that it's okay not to be okay. Like, that's actually a part of being a person. Like, who is perfect? Like, life isn't cherry all the time. Things happen. So like those things take emotional tolls on people. So like we need to be more sensitive. And that was another question I was coming up with as well. Like, I feel like this generation is way more in tuned with feelings and of course mental health or whatever. So you think like bullying is going to be like on a decline? Because I know people still to this day, like people kill themselves and like suicide from bullying and all of these things. Like, I feel like, do you think bullying is going to be on a what?
We need the bullies, natural selection.
I think it doesn't have, okay, you could make jokes and roast your friends without it being bullying. Like, a lot of times when I was thought about bullying back home, it was really just us roasting each other. Yeah, you could roast each other without.
No, but there's a difference. It's the intent is
exactly.
You know, because if you're doing it with your friend and you know that you have this connection with your friend, and you know, oh, this is just my friend roasting me, whatever, right? That is just a humorous way of pointing out something that, well, sometimes it can be a humorous way of pointing out something like, oh, you know, maybe you should check up on this yourself, you know? You want to big up yourself, your friend, bust up and say, oh, you're so enough, whatever, you know? But then there is a difference if somebody just come and is just on you constantly for no reason.
I don't think that's necessary.
No.
Yeah, if it's like mean for no reason and it's like not
necessary,
funny, right? Then okay, why you doing that? That don't make sense.
Not necessary.
Right? That's different from just getting roasted.
We still need more context, bro. Because if there's a motherfucking Naruto running and jumping off the walls, I don't care if he get bullied every day. He needs that. At 17 years old?
Why can't he be himself?
No.
So what, you think him getting his ass beat is going to change that?
No. He could wear a little Naruto band to school, you know. But he just can't be running around like that, jumping up and down. That's what I tried. Like,
so
that's what I said. We need some negative karma to keep all this from flowing over.
What's your problem with that, though?
What's my problem with that?
They quote unquote weird.
That's not his type. He's just, you know.
Wait, I ain't saying I agree. What's your problem?
What is
property damage? Right, public humiliation.
A lot of things that bully kids for just don't make any. When you think about it, don't.
Kids are mean. Kids are mean.
Oh, but I know that, but
kids are mean. But I think
let's not do it again. You guys robbed me the first time.
But like mental health or whatever, I feel like bullying may be on the decline because people are way more aware.
Not may. Bullying definitely is on the decline.
Okay, well that's good to know because I feel like we're more sensitive. Like we're more in tune that you don't know what this person is going through. So who are you to basically badger them and beat them really down?
Yeah, bullying is not
on the decline on Black Twitter, but I mean
that's why I talk about it in school.
But like in real life, like they've been blackballed. They think they get suspended or like not worse than suspended. Like their future academics, like. You can't go to universities. What I was trying to say, but like they really facing serious repercussions.
Good.
Well,
for who?
Were you bullying? Good. You sound very offended.
I was on both sides of the spectrum.
I was about to say, he said he was home without showering, playing games.
You sound like you were advocating for mental health. Yeah, you tearing down other people's mental health.
Because balance is important.
How do you guys think you guys would deal with like the mental health of your kids?
Oh, definitely. I'm doing regular check-ins, bro. Like every other, I'm just walking in your room. Hey, you okay? You need anything? Like, how is school? How are your friends? How are your relationship?
Oh my God, Mom, stop!
Exactly.
I don't care.
You got busing and you got the jergens.
I mean, but that would also mean you do have to create that balance. Because too much can also.
I'm checking in. It's no way my child can be under my roof suffering, and I am not like I would.
Yeah, because you give them that roof on that bed. There's no way that mental health could deteriorate under your watch.
First of all, if you know, as a good parent, you know when something's off with your child. Like you can just sense, okay, something's not right. It's you to take on that action and just be like, okay, well then let me talk. Yeah. Let me find out, rather than why you look so today?
Yeah.
Coming at it with a force. You just, so is everything okay? How are your classes going? Are you stressed? Understanding there is stress that people at any age take on differently. There is depression because I'm not going to feel good every day. Yeah. And things are going to bother me differently certain days. And just understanding that I have to understand how to deal with my child. Like, okay, well, you know what? Let's do something differently. Sometimes just a change of scenery, just changing your mood changes so much, lightens up So just going out of your way to do things with your child, and letting them know that, okay, well, if anything, I can go to my mother.
That needs to be a thing as well with these jobs.
I don't think they even train teachers in the Caribbean to even pick up on issues like that, which I wish that they did. Like, honestly, if you're with this class, this class for a whole year,
and especially because a lot of these teachers, sorry for cutting you off, do it because anyway, I finished school, I'll do what I'll just teach. It's not a passion because they don't. So if it was a passion and you do it because you love to teach, you can pick up on how your students take to what you do. But a lot of people just do it for doing its sake, and you can tell that they just doing it because I'm getting paid.
I get cause most of my mental health issues.
There you go.
They don't care about the kids until they start giving trouble. Like, that's the only point.
My teachers were the ones that were demonizing me. So forget about training the teachers to do better in this case, right? My teachers were the ones that were causing the issue, and so it's like, if this is the people that's causing the issue, who the hell am I supposed to go to?
Like, they need to be trained. Like,
they need to be screened. That's
all of the above.
That's what they need.
Screened. Of course. You should. If you're going into a profession with children, I believe that you should be.
Where you are responsible for the mental health and the mental and physical health of somebody's child. You are supposed to treat that child as you would treat your own child. I really don't think that you would be demonizing your own child and saying all kind of tribuness and beating up the people that are picking you up. All your own picking up in the place. That's not what you're supposed to be doing.
We'll talk after. Wow.
Anyway, if we could wrap this up or whatever. It's okay not to be okay, guys, in the Caribbean. Like, get help.
Oh, also, like, looking out for your friends is not just you asking, like, oh, you okay? No, it's you taking some food over to them. If you ain't seen them in a while, you know they'll hit you up. Like, go take some food to them. Like, message them. Just send them some memes, something. Just be there. You don't always have to be, you all right? You okay? You sure you're cool? No, just send them a message like, hey, thinking about you. Have a great day today. Like, just randomly, just be there.
A great tool is to not ask a question that can be answered with yes or no. Ask a question that requires a multi-word answer. Because if you ask a question that's yes or no, it's very easy for somebody just to say, yeah, I'm alright,
especially when they don't want to talk, like they're
and a lot of people will not want to. And that's okay as well. It's okay for me to not want to talk to you and to just like drop off the face of the earth sometimes, because I need that alone time. I need to get my space together.
My take is be understanding and be there to listen.
Be kind.
Just be genuine.
Empathy, dog. Be kind.
Like, come on.
You don't. Not everybody's built like you.
Save all your judgmental tendencies for the next 15 minutes.
Keep it. Take it to your mom.
Yeah. That's it.